Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In our previous lesson, we learned about chemical equations, but there is one important rule in chemistry. Chemical equation must balance. Why? Because in nature, atoms are never created nor destroyed during a chemical reaction. In this lesson, you will learn about what balancing chemical equations means, why chemical equation must be balanced, simple steps to balance chemical equations, learn a practical examples. By the end of this lesson, you will able to balance chemical equations yourself. Let's begin. What is balancing a chemical equation means? Balancing a chemical equation means making sure that the numbers of atoms of each element is the same on both sides of the equation. This follows the law of conservation of mass, which states that matter cannot be created or destroyed during a chemical reaction. For example, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. The equation is hydrogen plus oxygen giving us water. That's H2 plus O2 giving us H2O. This equation is unbalanced. Now, let us count the atoms to be sure whether the equation is unbalanced. Check the left side of the equation. The left side of the equation, hydrogen are 2, while oxygen is R2. And the right side, hydrogen are 2 as well, but oxygen is 1. You can see that oxygen is not balanced. So we must balance the equation. Now let us look at this steps to balance a chemical equation. Balancing a chemical equation becomes easy if you follow these simple steps. Step 1. Write the correct chemical equation. For example, H2 plus O2 giving us H2O. Step 2. Count the number of atoms on both sides. In the equation above, left side of the reaction, hydrogen are 2, oxygen are 2. In the right wall side of the equation, hydrogen are 2, oxygen is 1. Step 3. Add coefficients to balance atoms. Always keep in mind that we add numbers in front of chemical formulas. These numbers are called coefficients. So we balance oxygen by placing 2 in front of water. Now the equation becomes H2 plus O2 giving us 2 in front of water. We count again. Now, right side of the equation, oxygen are 2, but hydrogen become 4. So, we balance hydrogen by placing 2 in front of hydrogen, giving us the balance equation. Now, the balancing of the equation, 2H plus O2 giving us 2 in front of water. Now, both sides are equal. Hydrogen are 4, oxygen are 2. Let us look at some useful tips when balancing a chemical equations. The tips are 1. Balance metal first. 2. Balance non-metal. 3. Balance oxygen and hydrogen last. 4. Always check the atoms again. Always remember, never change the chemical formula, only change the coefficients. Now, let us balance another equation. Iron reacts with oxygen to form iron oxide. Step 1. For the solving, write the correct chemical equation. Now, we have Fe plus O2 given us Fe2O3. Step 2. Count the atoms in both sides of the equation. Now, at left side, iron is 1, oxygen is 2. At right side, iron is 2, oxygen is 3. Now, following our tips above, we will start with iron. Now, place 4 in front of iron in left side and 2 at right side of the equation in front of iron. Given the left side of the equation, iron is 4. And then the right side of the equation, iron is 4. We write the equation again to check whether the equation is balanced. 4Fe plus O2 given us 2Fe2O3. Now in this equation, we have 4 iron here, we have 2 oxygen, we have 4 iron, and then now let us count the atoms again. Left side Fe is 4, O is 2. Right side Fe, that's iron, is 4, oxygen is 6. So you can see that the equation is still not balanced because oxygen in left hand side is 2 while oxygen in right hand side is 6. So the equation is not balanced. Now let us place 3 in front of oxygen in left side, giving the equation balance. If we place 3 in front of oxygen in left side, the equation will balance. Now we have 4 Fe plus 3O2 given us 2 Fe2O3, which left side iron is 4, oxygen is 6, right side iron is 4 and oxygen is 6. Now the equation is balanced because all the atoms in both sides are equal. Practice question. Provide the balanced equation of methane reacts with oxygen during combustion. Chemical equation. CH4 plus O2 given CO2 plus water, using the steps and tips we learned in the lesson. Let us summarize what we learned. Balancing equations means making sure that the number of atoms of each element is equal on both sides of the equation. We balance equation because of the law of conservation of mass. To balance equations, you must write the equation, count atoms, add coefficients, check again.